It was a heartfelt indictment delivered by a father still grieving the loss of his soldier son. But 4 days later, Republican nominee Donald Trump still can't seem to let it go. His contentious comments continue to spark backlash and outrage. Here's ABC's David Wright.
This week, Donald Trump made good on one campaign promise.
I will unify and bring our country back together.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
But probably not in the way he intended.
The state of our union is in a war of words.
Donald Trump firing back at a growing chorus of critics. How dare you?
Even in the face of growing outrage, Trump tonight was defiant.
I was very viciously attacked.
Please welcome Kaiser Khan.
It all started with this speech.
Tonight we are honored to stand here as parents of Captain Humayun Khan and as patriotic American Muslims.
The Muslim parents of a fallen soldier speaking at the Democratic National Convention. Captain Khan was 27 years old.
If you want to see the best of America, you need look no further than Army Captain Humayun Khan.
At the convention, his father spoke from the heart, his grieving wife standing silent beside him.
If it was up to Donald Trump, he never would have been in America.
Then the clincher. Khan brought up Trump's plan to temporarily ban Muslim immigrants, like them, from entering the U.S.
Have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy. You have sacrificed nothing and no one.
Who wrote that? Did Hillary's scriptwriters write it?
ABC's George Stephanopoulos asked Trump about the Khans.
How would you answer that, Father? What sacrifice have you made for your country?
I think I've made a lot of sacrifices. I work very, very hard. I've created thousands and thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs, built great structures.
Those are sacrifices?
Oh, sure, I think they're sacrifices.
Trump went on to take a swipe at Ghazala Khan, who hadn't spoken a word.
She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me.
The Khans did not back down 1 inch.
I'm very upset when I heard that. I didn't say anything because I was in the pain.
Running for president is not an entitlement to disrespect Gold Star family. Shame on him. Shame on his family.
On social media, the hashtag Trump sacrifices started to trend, such as once, when very hungry, actually ate a Trump steak, had to eat a taco bowl to prove I love Hispanics, once had to take a second job in PR just to make ends meet. Speaking tonight with ABC's Columbus affiliate, WSYX, Trump sought to do some damage control.
As far as I'm concerned, he's a hero. But horrible things were said about me. I think it was, frankly, very tough. So all I did is respond, and I will always respond.
For Trump's competition, this is low-hanging fruit. More proof, said Hillary Clinton, that Trump is temperamentally unfit to be president.
Donald Trump is not a normal presidential candidate.
Republicans didn't go that far, but they too have been forced to distance themselves from their standard bearer. I cannot emphasize enough how deeply I disagree with Mr. Trump's statement, said 2008 nominee John McCain. I hope Americans understand that the remarks do not represent the views of our Republican Party, its officers, or candidates.
There's two things you can say to a Gold Star mother. You say, I'm sorry, or I'm very sorry.
For other Gold Star families, this is personal. Karen Meredith's son, First Lieutenant Ken Ballard, was just 26 when he was killed in Iraq.
It was really the end of the life that I knew and that I had planned on having. He was my only child.
She received next of kin notification on Memorial Day, 2004.
There is no word for a parent who has lost a child, not in any language, because it's just too painful. It is the worst pain.
She brought our cameras to a park near her home, the site of his high school graduation, and later, where they gathered after his funeral. She takes Trump's criticisms of the Khans personally.
I don't know that he has the capability of understanding what it is to lose a child. I haven't cried in a long time about my son, and I hate to admit it. I hate to give him that much power over me, but I cried because it was so painful.
Trump does have some defenders on this issue, among them Sajid Tarar, who represents a group called American Muslims for Trump. He spoke tonight with Byron Pitts.
What do you make of when asked about sacrifice? This is George Stephanopoulos' question. How would you answer the father, what sacrifices have you made for your country? Donald Trump's response, I think I've made a lot of sacrifices.
There's different definition of sacrifice.
How does a reasonable person put in the same sentence sacrifice of a child to sacrifice by creating jobs?
You can say yes or you can say no to the both of them. Comparison, I mean, say he gave
Was
comparison.
that a reasonable comparison?
Yeah, of course, that's his opinion.
But what's your opinion? As someone who supports Donald Trump,
did
it give you pause?
I respect both sacrifices.
The very idea that these are comparable sacrifices is what brought on the wrath of Khan. And that's just one storyline to come out of George's interview with Trump. There was also an entirely different controversy that had to do with the apparent bromance between Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
What exactly is your relationship with Vladimir Putin?
I have no relationship with Putin.
Trump told George one thing.
Do you have a relationship with Vladimir Putin?
And MSNBC the complete opposite.
I do have a relationship, and I can tell you that he's very interested in what we're doing here today. He's probably very interested in what you and I are saying today, and I'm sure he's going to be seeing it in some form. But I do have a relationship with him.
Putin has had nice things to say about Trump, calling him bright and talented last year at his press conference.
I don't think I've ever met him. I never met him. I don't think I've ever met him.
You would know it if you did,
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And yet...
You know, I was in Moscow a couple of months ago. I owned the Miss Universe pageant. And they treated me so great. Putin even sent me a present, beautiful present with a beautiful note. I spoke to all of his people.
Trump keeps changing his story.
So I was in Russia. I was in Moscow recently, and I spoke indirectly and directly with President Putin, who could not have been nicer. But I have no relationship with him. I don't.
Yeah,
I've
you
never
said
met
for
him.
3 years, 13, 14, and 15, that you did have a relationship with him.
No, look, what do you call a relationship? I mean, he treats me with great respect. I have no relationship with Putin.
Hillary Clinton.
Thank you, Omaha.
Tonight in Omaha, Hillary Clinton was celebrated at a campaign stop that also featured billionaire Warren Buffett, the latest in a parade of billionaires to support her in recent days.
The next vice president and president of the United States of America, Tim Kaine and Hillary Clinton.
There's also Mark Cuban in Pittsburgh and Michael Bloomberg in Philadelphia.
Trump says he wants to run the nation like he's running his business? God help us.
Billionaires united against one of their own in support of a Democrat who says she wants to tax the rich.
Well, I've ever had a flawless campaign. You'll be writing books about this campaign.
There will be books about this campaign. That much is certainly true. I'm David Wright for Nightline in Omaha.